Hello and welcome to the next R2D2 video where we're going to be looking at more parts of the dome and more parts of the left leg this time. To start off with then, let's talk about the dome. After the hassle last time with trying to attach that first blue panel, I did go out and I did buy more double-sided sticky tape, a nice big roll of it, just in case that I have the same issues. At least I got a backup then, so I don't have to worry about it not sticking down. It only cost £1 or something like that. It's not much. You get it from WH Smith or other newsagents. They are available. It is the same thickness as one of the strips that we get this time, as you can see here, but of course these strips will vary. So it's good to have a backup, I think, especially for something so cheap, just to make sure that those panels do go in. And speaking of the dome panels, I'm not going to be installing any of the panels on camera anymore because it is a fiddly process trying to separate the layers of the double-sided sticky tape, and it is heightened by the fact that I don't want anything scratched on the dome, because if I do scratch the dome I'm going to end up looking like this, and I don't think anyone wants that. I especially don't want that. So all the dome stuff is going to be filmed off camera. But I have attached the panels that we get in these issues, and this is what it looks like. As you can see, looking very nice indeed. I really love the way that the light changes from the way it's reflected off the main dome to these blue panels. Probably because of the paint, it's diffracted a different way. But I really like it. I think they attach together really well. It's a really nice way of attaching those panels. It also gives a sense that R2D2 is a droid that's built for functions, but you can install and change around the panels if you want your astromech to do different things. I'm just assuming that humans build them, and we're forgetting the...
Oh my goodness! Shut me down. Machines making machines. How perverse.
Yeah, let's just forget that. So that's the panels installed on the dome this time. Let's move on to looking at the left leg. Okay, so the first part we're going to look at on this left leg is attaching the left wheel on the left foot. So you just need all these parts here. This is the part that comes in issue 54, and all these other parts we had previously. We just flip the leg around so it's looking like that, and then we need to put in this tiny bearing in the hole there. Just fits in there like that. Then we get the wheel and we flip it around to have this square and circle side like that, and then push this part through there like that and attach the bearing onto there, the bigger bearing like that. And then we've got a little tiny little nubby part there that goes in there, and it just fits in like there. Make sure it spins, looking very nice. Then we get this part here, left leg 06, and we need to position it so it is facing this way around. We need to screw it down into these holes here, and you see if I flip it around it has got 2 pegs to hold it into place. So the 2 pegs go in these 2 holes there like that, and then we just screw it down with some of these smaller silver screws. And there we have this part all installed, holding the wheel in place. Looking very, very nice indeed. Make sure it does spin really well. Hear those bearings and see those bearings going. Keeping it nice and smooth, keeping it all in place. Looking very, very good indeed. So then moving on to the left leg parts we get in issue 55. And this is the part that we get, this motor here. But what we're actually going to be doing is getting all the parts that we've been neglecting for this left leg for a while now, and putting it all together. So there is quite a lot to do in issue 55. To start off with though, we'll just clear everything out the way, and we'll just bring in the leg here. You can see that I've taken this part off for the time being, and we just need to fix the motor into this hole here, like, oh, it's not where to go in, like that. And if I just zoom in here, you'll see that there are screw holes. The pegs for the motor have gone in, and there are screw holes to attach it to this hole here, and then 2 holes that are kind of hidden when the motor's in place. So I'm just going to do that to start off with. And there it is, all screwed in. It is a little difficult to get the alignment right, but when you do get it right, all the screws go in perfectly. The next cable you will need is this cable here, just getting out the pile of cables, which has the blue and the green wires and the black as well, going into this smaller section here. This bigger section just plugs into the motor like that. Make sure that that is in. And then what you need to do is thread the rest of the wire through this part that does wobble about a bit, like so. So make sure it doesn't get caught. Just make sure it's all pulled through. There, like that. And then when it is pulled through, just straighten it out, because that'll make it easier in the long run. The next cable you'll need is this red, orange and yellow cable. You can see it's got two different sizes of plug there, and you need to get this larger plug and thread it through this part as well. And also what you need to do is make sure that the smaller end, when you line it up with this little bracket here, it can curl all the way around there. So make sure you give a lot of space for it to be able to curl all the way around there. And that is that wire installed for now. Then what you need to get is everyone's favorite cable ties. So just making sure that there is enough wire for both of these parts. You push the cable tie through and fasten it in. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that there. I had a problem with the last leg that I didn't leave enough space for these two wires last time, so I'm going to make sure that that doesn't happen again. Just push it all down and tie it off there, like that. And hopefully that'll be enough wire for everything that we need it to do later on in the build. We then just need to cable tie all these wires into this loop there, this loop here, and this loop there. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. And when that's all done, you just cut off the excess cable ties, like so. This one is a little fiddly. There we go. Just push this part down over those wires for now. And there we have the wires all attached into the leg there. Let's just zoom out a bit. Hopefully there'll be enough give there, and hopefully we'll have enough give there as well, but time will tell on that. But it's looking pretty good to me, has to be said. I think I'm doing all right this time. We then need to get this part here, the outer casing, and get the ends of all these wires and thread these through. Left one behind, there we go. Make sure they're all threaded through. Now what we need to do is flip this around, and you see we've got the hole there for this sensor. We need to make sure that we install this sensor correctly now. So we just open up the casing like that, push the sensor, push the wire even, let's do it this way, through the hole that all the other wires went through, and then pop the sensor in place. There we go. Yeah, it's nice and secure. Oh, no it's not, it just came out. So make sure the wire's facing outwards, and we just need to tuck it in there so it does stay in. Just going to hold that down like that. And then we also need to attach these two silver parts so that they don't fall out either. Come on. There's one on that side. And then... So you know what? I'm going to tidy all this off camera because the sensor's coming out and I can't get these in. And then I'll be right back with you. There we go. They're all in there like that. Then what we need to do is get this part back, one of the first parts we did on the left leg, and just line up that in the holes as well, which is proven to be a little difficult again. No, there we go. Okay, so that's on there like that. And then what we need to do is we need to push this part now onto there like that, where it will stay. That is its home. Then we need to get the ankle bracelet part and just attach that in there like that. Okay, and then we just flip it over and you see all of these holes are going to get screws in them in just a moment. But the first screw hole that we need to focus on is this one here. It's not part of the white plastic. It is for the ankle part to go into the metal to hold it in place before we put the next lot of casing over it. So you see here, you just got this hole and you've got this tube and you just need to attach the screw into the tube. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. And here we have it all done. You'll see that my screw isn't dead straight because it didn't really align correctly. It is slightly off. Let me know in the comments down below if yours is slightly off or yours did align correctly. I'll be interested to know. So with that screw all done, we then need to get this piece here, which we got a while back with these nice detailings on of the silver and the blue. And then this part just goes over there like that, but make sure you get this wire and you thread it through this hole here so that it doesn't get damaged. Similarly for the wire that's attached to the motor. So make sure those wires are through and then just push that part on there like that. And then we are ready to screw together this leg in all of these holes here. So I'm just going to get started on that. Have it all screwed in. There we go. So we actually have a good chunk of leg done now to match with the other leg, which I'll just go get. You'll see that there's not much left to do at all. I can't get both of these on camera very well, but let's just try and focus on the parts that we have done. Obviously the silver casing will go in there when it's all done. The next thing we need to do really are the feet and the battery pack for R2D2. You see you've got the foot there and the battery pack. So that is what is going to be coming up in the next few issues of R2D2. So I hope you have enjoyed this video and I hope you will join me for the next one, which will be next week. We're bang up to date now with R2D2. With the DeLorean, I'm still waiting on some issues. But I'll do some catch-up videos when they are here. But yeah, for R2D2 we are all done now and I hope you have enjoyed this video. Until next time then guys, take care, bye bye.